Hello, everyone, and welcome to Broker Connect. We're letting people in right now. So we'll give it a minute. We know this is going to be a jam-packed session, and we are so excited for that. I'm Jen McDonald, Director of Client Engagement, and today we have a very, very special guest, Lisa Lund from Lund Mortgage. So she will be introducing herself, dropping all of the great info that she loves about ARIVE and how she built her business. And it's going to be an impactful, amazing session. So I will first let you know about some training opportunities that are this week and always. So we have we have an onboarding session for admins on Monday, new user trainings on Tuesday and Thursday. Every day we have ARIVE Live, which we'll talk about a little bit during this session, where you can pop in, ask your question, and then pop out. So something really specific to your business or something you're looking to do. We have Partner Spotlight on Monday. We're featuring Raman, so don't miss that. So lots going on at ARIVE, and here you are with Broker Connect, which is every other Friday, and also watch out for ARIVE University, which is every other Friday. So we are so excited to have Lisa Lund here today. Fan favorite. Everyone on our team was excited, but then I was getting messages like, I've met her. She's so amazing. I can't wait to watch. Lisa let me know that she was getting reached out to a million people saying they can't wait to join and hear what she has to say. We are so thankful for her partnership, her sharing always. She's a powerhouse broker owner in Arizona with a lean team and tons of volume. So I will let her introduce herself, but we are so, so happy you're here, Lisa.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'm excited to be here. I love sharing tools and what we're doing with our business to help us grow. And hopefully, I can help out others, give them a little bit of information on what we do and how we're growing and staying in front of our current clients and even capturing leads that may not be a loan right now, but could be a potential loan in the future. So I really love sharing and educating. It's a passion of mine. I love the mortgage industry. I'm crazy. I've been in it since I was born practically. So um, I feel that, now with technology, it allows us to do so much more for our clients and provide so much value for them. And if you just take the time to learn how to use it and how to use it within your company and set up processes, it will change your world. So,
So awesome. And you said you have so many mentors in this industry.
yes.
And when I look at you, though, I say, oh my gosh, you are a mentor to so many and love sharing these tools and tricks and best practices and how you have built your super successful brokerage. And so thank you again, for sharing your tips with us. Um, Jaylyn Vick is here. She is going to surprise you all with some interactive fun things as we go through. So watch for her to either pop in the chat or ask a question to show something that might be in your office, and let's have some fun with this session too. So feel free to, if you hear something good, show those emojis and cheer Lisa on with some claps and hearts. And like I said, we are so grateful for her time and her sharing. So, well, let's get started. I know that you love processes and you have built a very, very successful business with processes. So, can you talk about your post close system, what you do, and the tools in ARIVE that you utilize to create efficiencies and future business, things like that?
Yes, I am so excited to talk about this today. When I got asked to do this, I was thinking in my head, what could be so valuable for everyone out there that I can show them that we're utilizing and that we have utilized for a while, but it's gotten better and we've kind of gone through the bumps and the humps with it. So I feel like now is a great time to talk about this, especially with interest rates possibly dropping in the future, this is a great tool to have you ready for your clients. So one of the things that we like to do is do a post-closing checklist. And if you're a one-person shop, you can do this yourself as a loan officer. If you're a bigger shop, you want your loan officers to do it, we have someone that sets up and does it. And the most important thing I can say is to make sure that you're going through and clicking everything in Arrive, all the next steps and everything. So one of the things that we do, obviously, when the loan's funded, it funds, and then we have a checklist that we put together, our post-close checklist. And I have someone that's assigned to do this on every single file. It's like an audit. And what they do before, when the broker check is received, they get that and they log that in and mark broker check received. But before we hit finalize the loan, we're going through these steps on a file, and this is really going to help you. We're going through and Arrive and making sure that everything is updated. The interest rate is correct, the fees are correct, the closing date is correct. Most importantly, make sure that you're putting in your EPO date. That's important for you to know with refinances coming up when clients call in or you're calling out to them, and also first payment date. So we're going through and checking and making sure that the file is complete and all of those dates are in there correctly. The next thing that I'm really excited to talk about, and I hope that everyone starts to utilize this if you're not already, is the rate watch tool. We tell all of our current clients, with the rates being so volatile, they're like, oh, I wish we could get a lower rate. Well, we tell them we have a free tool for you. You don't have to worry about watching interest rates. We have a rate watch tool that will alert us when the rate gets to where we want it to be, that'll be beneficial for you with the cost. And it will email us and let us know to reach out to you. This tool, I'm so excited to talk about with you guys today and how to utilize it, because it's not only brought in new loans to us, but helps us stay in front of our current clients. And they get so excited when we reach out to them with a phone call, a text, an email saying, guess what? We have a rate alert for you. We can drop your rate now. And even if they're not ready to do something, it puts you in front of them for that conversation. So it's a great tool, and I can kind of walk through the steps on how to do it. There's a different process we use for purchases, and maybe you guys in Arrive can jump in if there's something new that I don't even know about. I would love that. Then refinances. And then I also want to talk about capturing every lead that you get. If you're getting a lead and they call in and they are looking to refinance now, and maybe the rates aren't there or it's not beneficial for them, if you're not putting them on a rate watch and you just need a little bit of information so that it alerts you and staying in front of that client, that someone else is going to be hitting that client before you. Sometimes we do so much within our day that we don't have time to remember, oh, that client called in and they need to get to this rate and rates are there now. You can't remember all of that. So use these tools, and it's going to allow you to get those alerts. The loan officer gets it right away when it hits there. And it's an amazing opportunity to reach out to your current clients or even clients that aren't a client yet, but they called in and now the rate's there that they needed. So I'm going to kind of go through that.
So valuable, so
Mhm.
valuable. And I was just going to say, your database has to be huge. I mean,
Yes.
just with the amount of volume that you do. And we have people on all different journeys on this call today. So there are people who don't have a database as big as yours. But
Yeah.
like you said, you get in the middle of your day, you get just, you're bombarded by either phone calls or trying to do this. We all know how crazy this business is. So to be like, oh, the Smiths want me to call them at this rate, you're not going to remember. I don't care if your
No.
database is not near as big as yours is. It's still, it's a tool that is reminding you and alerting you, and okay, now that's definitely going on my to-do list, right? And so much of
Yes.
it is about the conversation. What is a touch point that I can check in with these people and look like a,
The
act
hero.
as their hero advisor, right? That you're
Yes.
always monitoring their loan and seeing if anything is changing. And it's a great conversation where some people might be like, well, actually, we were thinking of moving, right? And then it just creates that conversation. So I can't wait for you to talk about this. Everyone, feel free to take yourself off mute if you have a question for Lisa, or put your question in the chat too if you have a question of something she's talking about, this is a session for you. It's interactive. So take it away. Let's hear purchases first. What's your
Yes.
steps on purchases?
And to also, if you can set up a process, but if you're not utilizing, you have to make sure once you do this that you're doing it on every single file. And when you call that client and you tell them, hey, we have a free rate watch, you don't have to watch the news, you don't have to do this for you, and you call them and they know that you did what you said, it is a client for life. Like I said, you are an advisor. It's just not a one-time transaction for them. When they know that you are watching out for their best interest, that is a client for life. And it's a game changer. As well as if you had someone that just called in, maybe didn't do something for them now, when you reach back out to them and say, guess what? Rates are here. We can do something for you now. And you do that before everyone else. That is amazing. And kind of what we were talking about earlier, I'm old school. We've been in the business a long time. I used to have to go print all of my old reports and see where the interest rates were. Are they going to save? I mean, who has time for that anymore? So this is an easy way to do it. So again, post-close audit, so important. Make sure that everything's updated. And before we hit loan finalized, I know that that rate alert is set on every single client. And all new leads that we get that don't turn into a lead, we're setting that rate alert on, just to kind of go over it. So on a purchase, so basically, let me kind of go through the steps for you. So when you go into your purchase file, you're going to want to open another screen for ARIVE. So you want to have two open on a purchase, because when you set the rate alert, you're not going to set it for a new purchase. You're going to set it for a refinance. So that's so important on the steps. I'm going to go through this one first because a refinance is easier if you had a current refinance and then want to do a rate and term later. So I'm going to go through the purchase for you. So the first thing we do is up at the top screen, you're going to see go under pricing and there'll be a drop down there. So you're going to have your file open on one screen and you're going to have a new screen open. You're going to go in the top bar and you're going to see pricing, and you're going to drop down and it's going to say rate alert. And when you click on that, it's going to open a new screen. And you're going to basically input the information as if it was a refinance. Now, every company can have their own systems on what they want to do. I'll just kind of tell you what we do. So we look at it as, okay, was it an FHA loan? Was it a conventional loan? How much money did they put down? Where the value is going to be. So you're going to input what you think the value is going to be. Sometimes we just use the purchase price. What the loan amount's going to be. We usually use the current loan amount, because even if they pay it down a little bit, it's going to, you add on interest and all that other kind of stuff. So that's our way of doing it, but you're going to input all that information and make sure that it's correct. Now, if you input the client's email, if it was a current client on a purchase, it'll pull up their information on the right hand side and you can click it and it'll input all their phone number, name, and email for you. So once you go through all of this and make sure everything's filled out on that screen correctly, you're going to select all lenders that are in ARIVE. And you're going to basically do pricing like you would on a new loan. So you're going to hit pricing, and then it's going to bring up all of the different products that you want to do a rate alert on. Now, if you want to do an ARM, one for an ARM. If you want to do one for conventional, one for refinance, one for fixed, you can set up as many rate alerts that you want. So you're going to pick that product that you want to set the rate alert on, and the interest rate. So let's say that someone's at 6.875 and you as a company feel that you want to get in front of them if the rates drop a half or 3/4 of a point. That's up to you on whatever you want to reach out to them on, or per the loan amount, right? Sometimes if the loan amount's 500,000, maybe 0.375 is good. Or if they're going from an FHA to a conventional, maybe because they're going to get rid of the mortgage insurance. So it's kind of up to you on how you want to set this up. So basically, once you get the product and pricing, I usually pick the first lender. Now, it doesn't matter because it's going to go through all the lenders once you set the rate alert. It's not going to go through the lender you pick during this. So that's important to know. So you pick the interest rate that you want on that lender. Obviously, the pricing is going to be a lot today. I just did one at like 5.99. It was like $17,000, but you highlight that interest rate. And then once you highlight that interest rate, you're going to sorry, I was looking at my notes here to make sure I had it all correct here. So you're going to hit that interest rate and then you're going to go to the right hand side and click on, where did I put that there? Um, product. So you hit that, and my light just went off, sorry. So you click on that on the left hand side, and it's going to bring up what the on the left hand side what the current rate is that you chose and the pricing. And then you're going to go the right hand side and you're going to change that pricing. So today, for instance, 5.99 was like 17,000, but I want to know if it hits that rate with $1,500 in fees. Again, you can set up and tell your person how whatever you want to get in front of that client. You put in that amount and then you hit set rate alert. And it'll pop up that screen and it'll tell you the rate that you chose and the fees that you chose. What we like to do, so we know we hit that rate alert, is we like to snip a copy of that, put it into the notes of the file so we know we set the rate alert. For me, I know that the person that's in charge of this did it. And then we also make sure it's set up in our CRM. Now, once you set that rate alert, once it hits that with any of the lenders within ARIVE, it's going to send the loan officer an email and say, you've hit this rate with this fees, time to contact the client. So I'll kind of stop here. I know I went through a lot. If anyone has any questions, kind of a good stopping point on that.
If you have any questions, please unmute yourself or throw them in the chat. Some people are asking if they can get the recording of this, because I think they're trying to pay attention of exactly what you're saying. We
It's a
will be
lot.
posting this on our
Yeah.
YouTube channel next week, so people can do step by step. Lorinda put a link to a Loom video that kind of walks you through the rate alert section too. So
Yeah.
we will post that. So can you go back and say, let's say you did close this loan FHA
Yes.
and you want to see the rate for FHA for refinance
Uh-huh.
opportunity is streamlined, but you also want to keep an eye on they might be ready to go conventional
Yeah.
too. How are you setting that up in your system?
So if it's a purchase, again, you open that second screen and you can, when you're filling everything out, you're setting that a rate alert to what you want the future loan to be. And again, FHA, sometimes we'll set up an FHA one and a conventional one. There's no limit on how many you can set up. That's what's great about this. And it's going to alert you and say, okay, contact the person for an FHA, but conventional is not there. Good time to have a conversation, but maybe you and the client decide, okay, let's wait till we can get to a conventional loan. Or maybe conventional hits, but they don't want to do that. Maybe their credit score drops. So now you're going to make sure that the rate alert is on for your FHA. Also, if things come up and you have that conversation with that client and it's not good for them now, you can always edit your rate alerts, which is amazing. So you can go into your, at the top screen, you go to pipeline, you go to your rate alerts, and it will bring up all your rate alerts that you have set up. And it'll set it up when you're searching through like ID. Most people don't have the rate ID. So you could drop down that box and hit borrower. And then on the left-hand side, it'll say past 5 days or whatever. You can always hit lifetime, like you want to play with that a little bit so you can search the correct rate alert. So if you're on the phone with the client and it doesn't work right now, you can go in and you can edit that rate alert too. And when you get the email too for the rate alert, you can edit it through that email as well. So there's many options with this. It's just, again, you look like the hero when you're calling that client and doing what you say you're doing. And two, just like you set up a purchase now to a refinance, if you have a new lead that's coming in, and let's say that they have a first and a second mortgage, a HELOC, and they want to look at combining that loan, and maybe the rates aren't there yet, we always use a combined rate calculator to see what their combined rate is and to see where the rates are now. It's another tool that's awesome that we just use on the side. But why are you just letting that client get off the phone? It is simple and easy. You're just going to go to the top again, go to products and pricing, hit rate quote. You just need a little bit of information from them. You need to know what their current interest rate is, current loan balances. Are they conventional, FHA, property address, and name, phone number, and email. doesn't take long to capture. You're going to tell them, get them excited about this free tool that you have that no one else is offering right now, right? And that we're going to keep an eye on this for you. And you don't have to worry about the market. You don't have to worry about the news, because we all know, right? When interest rates come out in the news, it's always a week or two later. And the markets are so volatile all the time that you want to capture that client right then and there. If the rates drop for a day or two, like we've seen in the past, then they go back up, this is your opportunity to get in front of them right then and there before anyone else does. So it's so important to capture every lead, every phone call that comes in, and just set a rate alert for them. And when you call them back, again, you're being proactive, and people love that more than anything else. They're going to trust in you. They're going to value that. I can't speak more volumes on this. I mean, I can't tell you how many loans we've gotten off of it this year by the little dips in interest rates by having this rate alert. We've gained so many loans that we are not marketing for. It doesn't cost anything. I mean, this is a great tool because I do radio. It's an expensive marketing cost, right? We're always looking for the new client to come in, but a lot of people forget to manage their current clients or their current leads that you can't do something now for. So,
Okay, so timing wise,
mhm,
how long? Because we talked before this
yeah,
about, I think either people don't know about it
mhm,
or they're not taking the time to set it up on the back end. They're not going through your process to
yeah.
say, okay, let's just set this up. Give me a time frame. How long does it really take you to input this? Or your
I do.
team, if your team is doing it?
So I personally did one today.
Okay.
So I had that for you because I do have a team member that is in charge of it, but I go through
Mhm.
and monitor and make sure it's done. So I audit random files and make sure it's all done on it. It is should I mean, maybe when you're starting out a little bit longer, but no longer than 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
And that's because too, like when you're starting out, you may say, I need to know what I'm going to put in place for my systems. Like I want everyone to be alerted when the rate drops by 0.5% or by, you in your mind as a business owner or as a loan officer have to know what you want to put in place. How often do you want to get in front of that client, or what's beneficial? So I think the hardest part for us was teaching someone that mindset of like, okay, if it's $100,000 loan, maybe I need to get a point better. If it's a $500,000 loan, maybe let's reach out to them at a half a point, um, at this much fees, you know what I mean? And two, the fees part of it is up to you as well. Do you want to do it for half a point, or, cost, is it worth it to reach out to them at that point? And you also got to think that with trigger leads and with everything else, once rates drop, you want to get in front of them first. So you want to be a little more aggressive, I would say personally, is kind of the systems that we put in place, because it's not bad to have a conversation and have them say no. Because again, staying in front of them, letting them know that you're using this tool and that they can trust you is better than not doing it. So I feel like personally, we kind of be a little more aggressive on it because we want to be first one to call them, because as we know, sometimes we have a short timeline where the rates drop. And if we're not reaching out to those clients, someone else is.
And what I was getting at is 10 minutes. Do you
Yes,
think you've closed ten deals because of rate alerts this year?
easily, if
I
not
knew that
more.
was your answer. So 10 minutes for 10 deals, if you do the math, pretty
Yeah.
much worth your time. So I love that you're talking about this subject today and filling in people. So do you want to go through your refinance process now?
Yes. And what I say too is I know a lot of us will get trigger lead alerts or payoff alerts from some of our current lenders, which is fabulous. But sometimes that's too late. That means they've already talked to someone. Again, if you are proactive in being the one reaching out to them, it's a game changer and it changes everything. I'm telling you, we've easily gotten so many clients, and 10 minutes is nothing, because how much do you spend on your marketing time? If you do social media, if you do luncheons with realtors, if you're doing open houses, whatever you do, if I'm doing radio, whatever you do, it's longer than 10 minutes. And this sets up something that is going to show you how to reach out to clients without, you set it and forget it, that it's going to email you, right? Set it and forget it. And it's something that is worth that 10 minutes. And if you're not taking the time to do this, I promise you, you're missing out. So on refinances, if you have a current refinance, it's a little bit easier of a process because you don't have to create a new file for it. Basically, you can just go into the current file and you're going to go into products and pricing. within the current file, like you're pricing out the loan. Now, before you do that, again, you're going to want to change anything within that. So let's say they did an FHA loan. I had another one that I did. I kind of played with a purchase and a refinance today just to see how long it took me so I can answer questions. Um, and I did 2 rate alerts because it was a current FHA. They had put down 10% on there. And so I did one for an FHA rate and term, and I did one for conventional, to get rid of the mortgage insurance. So when I did it, FHA, obviously I wanted to drop the rate a lot more than a conventional one. I'm a little more conservative because getting rid of that MI is already going to save them on their payment. So I set up 2 rate alerts. And again, 10-15 minutes even for setting up 2 because you're already in the file. So you're going to hit the products and pricing at the top there. So let me get to that little refinance thing I have here on my notes here. And so you're going to pick the lenders. We hit all lenders again, hit product and pricing after you change everything on how you want the new refinance to look in there. And again, by doing this, it's not going to change anything in your current loan file. Okay. So what's cool about it, and then you're going to hit, price the loan at the bottom, and you're going to pick our thing is the first lender at the top. Again, it doesn't matter. It's going to go through all of them on the rate alert. So pick the first one, and I highlight the interest rate that we want to get to. Don't worry about where the fees are at today on it. Then when you go down to the little section there, it's on the left-hand side. Again, you don't touch that because that's the current rate and what the fees are. On the right-hand side, you're going to change your fees. So whatever it is, okay? If it gets to 6.25 and 5,000 in fees is what I'm comfortable with, or 3,000 in fees is what I'm comfortable with, you put in there where you want it to alert you. So that way, when any of those lenders within ARIVE hits that rate with those fees, it's going to give you that alert. So again, you're going to hit set rate alert. Again, it doesn't change anything in your system. And you can go back through and do it again. Go back through product and pricing. And again, we always for our company, take a little snip of it so we know where we set the rate alert, at what rate and what pricing. We put that in our notes, and we also make sure it's in our CRM. So we know, okay, we set a rate alert, here's where we set it. And if we ever need to go back in and edit it or anything like that, maybe we were too aggressive or less aggressive, or, rates are really dropping fast. So I want to go in and edit some of my rate alerts. And so we always do that as a process. So refinances, you can go into the current file, product and pricing, change it to what you want the new loan to be within the product and pricing. Make sure the loan officer is correct if you, the loan officer, are not doing it, because the alert only goes to the loan officer. So since we have a team member do it, they're making sure that the loan officer is correct. And also, when you create a new one for from a purchase to refinance, and you create that new one, make sure that the loan officer is put in there correctly. And then pretty much that's it. And then you'll get those emails. And from those emails, like, again, you can click in it and it'll bring up that rate alert for you. So when you're having that conversation with the client, they're not currently ready yet, you can either edit that rate alert or leave it the same.
And Kimberly's asking in the chat, can you share your screen? A picture is worth 1,000 words. And we agree with that, but we don't allow our hosts to share their screens because there's confidential, sensitive information on those screens. But I do want to tell you all about ARIVE Live. It is daily, and it is at 2 o'clock Central Time, so 12 o'clock Pacific Time. You can hop in there. It's an hour every day. Our experts are in there, and it is the perfect session for detailed questions like this. Hey, I want to set up some rate alerts. How do I do that? Can you go through with me the step by step of what I would need to do? Can you show me different ways to do that? And our experts love helping you create efficiencies and setting up your systems for that. So we have so many different training opportunities, but ARIVE Live is specifically for, I want to create an automation. I don't know how. I want to create a rate alert. How do I do this? What's the best practice for that? And so feel free to jump on. We change it from 3 days a week to 5 days a week just to support you. So definitely let's get your rate alerts set up in there. So hop on that training call and know that it's daily.
And I do have all my notes here because I wanted to go step by step through it just so I've done this before. I know we have processes in place, but I like to be hands-on. So I don't mind typing them up and sending them to you guys if you want to send them out to anyone. Because I did write details. I have like 7 pages here of everything. That's why it took me a minute when I was like kind of looking through it. I don't mind typing it up and copy and showing what keys they are, because I know that's very helpful, because this is a tool that I know and I'm excited. I would love to hear from people too if you start using it. Your success from it, like it's exciting, you know. And like I said, on every purchase and refinance, when we tell our clients, we have this free tool for you. You don't have to worry about it. You're a client for life. You're not transactional like if you were to go to a bank or a retail place. We have a free tool that will watch your rates for you, and we're going to be reaching out to you. And when you reach out to that client and do what you say, again, I can't stress this enough, that proactiveness just makes them love you, and it's a client for life.
Yeah, hi, Lisa. This is Harish. I jumped in, so thank you for doing this session today. I know you have put YouTube videos demonstrating all these tools online. So if anybody wants to go to YouTube and search Lisa Lund or Arrive with Lisa, so everything she's describing, she has dummy data in there. And again, thank you so much for being a supporter so long. You've been such a big champion for so many years. And incidentally, we both are wearing green today. So this
I
was
know, I love it. Right?
but yeah,
So
thank you, Lord. Matt and you have been such a big champions of the platform for many, many years. And thank you for coming on Broker Connect again. We appreciate it.
yes, yes, anything. And I don't have a YouTube on this one, but I'm happy to make one, because this is something that when I was thinking about what I could talk about today to your users, it's really the post close and how to get prepared for that big refi boom we're all waiting on. And we know that with volatility in the markets, it could be a short window. So for me, it's so important that you are getting in front of your clients and utilizing these tools so you don't have to think about it.
So one of the big requests we get, Lisa, for this specific feature, rate alert, is can we send it directly to consumer? Like you said, we are currently sending it to loan officer, but again, people are busy. What if the alert gets missed? As you rightly said, once rate dip, this is going to become very important. So one of the enhancements in next several months is at your discretion and control, you will be able to tell the system, do you want to inform the consumer as well? Again, it will be optional. So if you're not comfortable telling consumers, but to your point, this helps you build clients for life. That's kind of our goal as well.
Yes, I love hearing that that feature is coming. I was going to ask about that because it is an option, right? Maybe not every client you want
Sure.
to have it reach out to, but if you can have that option to turn it on or off, I think it's huge. But right now, even to the loan officer, it gives them a way of reaching out to that client and looking like the hero. But even if it alerts the client, then they know, and you haven't had a chance to call yet, then they know that you're looking out for their best interest. And they don't need to go anywhere else. They don't need to look anywhere else because you're doing everything for them.
Any other questions from the group? Oh, we have a hand up. Claire Beth, take yourself off mute, please.
I wanted to know, thank you very much, Lisa, for this webinar. It's very instructive. But I wanted to find out, besides these tools, I'm sure that Arrive, I mean, I have not fully taken advantage of what Arrive can do for my company. So I wanted to know, besides this tool, is there any other tools that we can use to help us I'm pretty sure it is a robust system. So, and if you don't know, maybe tell me or direct me where to go to get all these
Uh,
beautiful tools so to help us.
Well, like she said, there's live training, and I would suggest, especially if you're new, to really utilize that, because there are, I mean, I could go on for days about everything that they have and what I've used. I just chose this topic today because I felt like maybe not everyone is using it, and it's something that's really helped get those extra loans for us this year without even lifting a finger. I mean, the 10 minutes when you're closing the loan or when you're on the phone with a client, but like other than that, it's a great tool. So I felt like I really wanted to concentrate on this. But anything, feel free. I do have a lot of videos on YouTube, but I mean, keeping control of your pipeline, status updates to your clients, call reports, you know, the mortgage call reports, they're so easy now to upload from there. If you are a business owner and you want to see how you're doing in your months or know what your incoming income, I mean, it does so much that we could talk for days. I don't know if there's something specific that you would like me to speak on, or you can reach out to me as well. But that training is very helpful because there's so many different ways to utilize it internally for the process, externally for the clients, as well as even after the loan closes.
Correct. And where do I go to get the training link and something?
We have
I'll let
some
you
in the chat, some of the links.
Ah, okay. Thank you. I will look into that. Thank you so much.
Harish put a note that said dual AUS is one of your favorites.
Yes, yes, I love dual AUS in there. Too, when you're playing with a file, I just had a deal the other day where dual AUS really saved us because it was, for whatever reason, 5% down, 681 FICO score, lots of reserves, would not take it to you. But LP took it no problem. And just having that comparison right there, when the loan officer submitted the file was being ran DU, that they didn't even realize that LP could save the deal. So I love dual AUS a lot. It shows you the different comparisons too when you run it. How many reserves are needed for this one, not this one. Do you need 1 year's tax returns or 2 years tax returns for self-employed? So it's a really cool tool that's easy to read as well.
Let's talk about go ahead, Chris.
Oh, thank you. So I'm probably in a different position than most. I just retired from FedEx after a very long career. Got my license, opened a mortgage brokerage, got an LOS. I tried out Sphere because UWM was offering that for free. I did not like it, but I can tell just from what little I already know and played around with the ARIVE system, it's fantastic. The one problem, I've been writing policies and all kinds of things, new mortgage brokers. So like I said, 12 weeks, I think I've made a whole lot of progress. One hiccup, I thought you ladies might be able to send me in the right direction. Is there a third-party processing company out there that utilizes ARIVE? So the one that I found so far is Wemo, and they said they might be getting on board with it, but they're not quite there yet. And I know I checked with Willow, and they weren't licensed in the state of Oklahoma. Is there a place I can find third-party processing vendors that are licensed in Oklahoma that are integrated with ARIVE? Because I think for me, that's going to be key being new to the business.
Is there a place to go, Jen, to find third-party?
Chris, you're going to love our community because we share, and I think Lisa can agree with this. She's been on we have a Facebook group. So anyone who's not in the Facebook group, please join. These are great questions to ask. We have tens of thousands of people in there willing to help and guide you along and answer these questions. But if anyone has some recommendations, please throw them in the chat for Chris too, as far as who you're using, who you love. But Chris, welcome to ARIVE. You are going to absolutely love this community for all of these reasons. So our community will put you in all of the right directions, whether it's questions on ARIVE, third-party processing, favorite lenders that you're using. It's a really special place.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And for all of you that don't know, I have to give kudos to ARIVE because it's something I've been asking for a while. You now have it set up where reverse mortgages in ARIVE. So amazing. Thank you for doing that. I don't know, for all of you that do reverse mortgages out there, we do them. And it was a frustrating battle a little bit, but you guys just came out with reverse mortgage option in ARIVE, and I love that. So thank you. Just to give you a little kudos there.
Thank you.
Before anyone jumps in with the next question, let's give them a big warm up and get them jumping in here with a little game. Let's do a little office scavenger hunt.
Oh my gosh.
Anybody has a music instrument that they can show us, there might be a grand prize for you. So musical instruments are what we're looking for today. So throw it in the chat if you're there. I'm going to go through the video as quick as I can and see, or hold it up. I see people looking around. I love it. But take yourself off so we can see you if you have one, and you will be the winner today.
We'll also have a special prize for the next question too for Lisa. So take yourself off mute and ask away. This is what this is all about.
Hi. Hi, this is John from California. Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Yeah,
Welcome, John.
since you guys have 1009, can you do perform a 3-minute tutorial on this 1009 reverse?
On the
let's
reverse,
Yes.
is that something that you guys can do in your live training?
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. We can do that in the live training, but I think we have a resource too, John. So let me have someone on our team post that in the chat for you as far as a video that's already made and things like that. So,
Okay.
but
Okay.
if not, yes, definitely the Arrive Live can walk you through that as well.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Of course. Well, let's talk about your team while we're waiting for questions. You have a lean, mean team.
Yes.
So you're at only 9, right?
Yes.
For the amount of volume you do, which is mind blowing. So you've talked about what some of your favorite features are. What would you say your team, your ops team, the people your processor, setup team, what are some of their favorite things, do you think? Or how are you building efficiencies on that side through them?
Yeah, so for me, COVID was a huge eye opener, right? It was like so much business coming in, and I was like, how do we best utilize everyone's strengths in the office and help each other out? So I'm big on team and okay, this is my file, and I'm gonna only, I'm the only one who can talk to this person on my file. Um, Instead of doing that, I wanted everyone to think of as a team and we have each other's backs. So COVID really forced me to create processes where, loan officers are initially, like my husband, who's my top loan officer, likes to explain to people, he's like a doctor, right? When you find out you're pregnant, you go to the doctor and they say, "But you're pregnant." And then the rest of the time you're meeting with the nurse or the PA. And at the end, the doctor comes in, delivers the baby, and looks like the hero. So, same concept we wanted to create where our loan officers were always contacting clients, getting after that next deal. I didn't want to have to maintain the current deals unless they really needed to jump in and know that their team has their back. So basically, we created a setup team, a pre-processing team, processors, and our processors have full support. We have the same person that does my post closing also does VOEs, bankruptcy paperwork. If you need, chases all that stuff for them, homeowners insurance if they need it. So just kind of breaking up the process to make sure that everyone has support. And then at the end, our loan officer is doing that closing call before they even go to closing and talking to the hero again, like a doctor, looking like the process went so great. Here we are. Everything's like I said, just so you know, your first payment's this date. And here's how much money you're coming in with. Here's your payment. Do you have any questions? And then boom, it goes to closing. And then I have that post-close process. And again, once that rate alert hits, that loan officer looks like the hero.
That's awesome. What a great process. And obviously it's working very, very well for you.
And I think I would say too, like having the online where you can request things from clients and getting those emails if they still haven't uploaded that document, I would say, because once the loan officer sells the deal and locks it, boom, it moves right to our setup, and our setup's in charge of making sure disclosures are signed, all the documents are in before it moves to pre-processing. Pre-processing checks income, does everything, submits the file, and then by the time the processor gets it, it's approved. So I think having those, utilizing the client needs list in there. Even my processor uses it too, and going in and you can customize all that too. So it's like our biggest thing was earnest money, right? No one knows what an earnest money cancel check is. So we went in and customized what we wanted our clients to get when that condition went out. And it alerts you when those conditions come in. So I think a lot of the tools in Arrive are helpful. So you're not having to go in every file and say, did this person send this in? And you can set up too how often you want them to be touched, or you can turn off the alerts. I think that's so important to know how to utilize that to what works best for you. Everyone knows their client base better than anyone else and how they want to run their company or individually as a loan officer. And so you have real customization on those tools. And you know, when you go through the steps of loan is submitted, you can go in and create what you want that client to get, and you can turn on all the milestones. I think our processing team loves that. And write in what to expect next. Or when the loan funds, you know, we like to put in a little blurb in there. Hey, your loan has funded. Once the title company gets the wire, which could take a few hours, you know, they wait until it records, then you get the keys. I mean, I'm kind of just saying what it says something nicer than that, but we went through and customized all of that. So our communication to our clients are how we want it to look. And so I think that's important too, is in the beginning, especially for you new users, take the time and again, use the online help if you don't know where it's at. Anyone can reach out to me too, but I don't mind at all. But set those up in the beginning on how you want it to look to your clients and utilize those tools, those milestone tools. Because when you click in your system, loan approved, if you set up those milestones, it goes out to your client right away. You know, we like to say basically your loan's been approved, your loan officer is going to review your approval. They'll be in touch with you within 1 or 2 days. Again, setting expectations for that client and utilizing the tools, but you're still communicating. Our processors still call them, but they're not anxiously waiting for it to be approved. They're getting that email notification, text, or whatever. And so you can set that out and says what you want it to say. But I would take the time to set up all of that if you're a new user, because it's going to be very helpful within your process.
Yeah, you're taking some time to set it up in the beginning, but you're saving so much time through the process, and the communication is flowing back and forth. And I love it. Javier has a question. Javier, feel free to take yourself off mute.
Hey, Lisa, it's Javier. I'm out in Arizona. I've been a big fan of you and Matt for a couple of years now, and just had a
Thank
quick
you.
question. A couple of questions, I guess. So I know that you guys are big on getting to the consumer first, and so my question is, what's your process for deciding which realtor partner you want to send the consumers that you guys are getting first? Do you have like a round robin, or how do you guys decide who gets who you're sharing those referrals to? And then my second question is also, do you have are a lot of your realtors using are they plugged into the ARIVE system as well?
Yeah, great questions. So I'm really big on our loan officers getting to know our borrower. We utilize our notes and our tools in ARIVE a lot. This person, I mean, Matt, my husband, still has a client of ours that's been a client of ours for 10 years that reaches out to him and talks during football season because he's a Raiders fan and my husband's a Chiefs fan, right? So knowing personally what your client likes, I think has really helped them to know what realtor partner to combine them with. So we have realtor partners on east side of town, right? West side of town, Central Phoenix, but also, is it a woman? Is it a man? Is the client that you're talking to more apt to work with a woman? By talking to them on the phone, I feel like our loan officers have gotten a good way of understanding that client more and asking them questions like, do you have kids? Or, you know, what do you like to do on the weekends? And we put all those notes, we utilize ARIVE. So even when they're a past client, we go back to call them, we can remember, oh, that client, you know, they have 5 grandkids and they travel in the summer and they like to go to Disneyland. Knowing personal things about your client are going to help you with that. And so I'm big on pushing my loan officers to really ask the right questions and make the client feel that it's not just about selling them a deal, right? We're getting to know them. And so truly, they've really gotten it down to know what realtor partners to use based off of that and the characteristics of the borrower. And so that's kind of what they do. If they can't really dig into the client, I think they kind of do it by area as well. Like, does that realtor want to spend when gas prices were up? They're all the way in Albuquerque and the person's looking in Levine, or I'm sorry, not Levine, like Surprise, you know, so kind of two based off of that if they can't get to know them a little bit more. And then what was your second question again? I'm sorry.
Do you have a lot of your partners in the realtor portal on ARIVE? Are you utilizing that to an extent, or how have you gotten them to embrace that if they have it all?
Yes, yes, we do. I think it depends on the realtor partner, honestly. So again, case by case on that, but we do utilize that. Are you talking about for updates and where they can upload stuff to the system? Um,
Yeah,
I think it
exactly.
depends on the realtor partner itself because we have done it sometimes with some and they just ignore it, right? And they go directly to emailing. We don't turn on every update to the realtor because we do what's called LSU Wednesdays. So we have one of our people that sends out LSUs, which is great. Arrive has the Arizona loan status update in their system. It's really easy to utilize, fills out most of the information. You just have to update it. And so we do LSU Wednesdays that we send out on all of our purchases. Um, but yes, sometimes we use milestones. I wouldn't say always. It just depends on the realtor partner.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Jen, Lorinda did post the reverse mortgage loom video in the chat. And then there's a whole bunch of good stuff in the chat. So make sure you guys look at these links for either our events, user trainings, some different loom videos of what we talked about today. Any other questions for Lisa?
Yeah, I got one for Lisa. When it comes to, let's say you got buyers that are on the fence because of the interest rates, is there something you could use like what we've been talking about here that kind of like almost in a drip to them, showing what we can do for them, even in the long run? If they purchase now, this is what we're going to do for you in the long run.
Um, Meaning, is there something that tells them that we're going to give you a rate watch or something
Well,
like that?
yeah, just something that shows them that we're gonna show them how we're gonna keep an eye on this rate watch for them. And once they reach the rate they're looking for, that we're gonna refinance you at that point.
I don't know if there's anything in Arrive, and I necessarily don't want to show them what I'm doing because again, that's up to your company. Like, what if we're putting in there, the borrower thinks that they need to get down to 5.5, and you think it's beneficial at 5.875, and say they want no fees, but you think it's still beneficial to have a conversation with 1,500 in fees. So for us personally, we don't show them anything within Arrive or anything like that. We just sell the fact that we have a tool and we make it sound like it's only good for us. You know what I mean? We really sell it like we have this free rate watch tool and we are on top of the market. And I think once you make that first call to them, they trust you. Or if they ever call into you, you can say, I do have you on the rate watch. It's not quite there. And you can pull up all their info and what you put them at the rate watch. And depending on that conversation, when they call and they say, well, I have other people reaching out to me saying they can get me this rate, you can say, well, that's probably going to cost you that much in fees. It's it's a great tool to have that rate watch. You can pull it up at any time, like I said, in that pipeline and pull up what you currently have it at. And maybe if that borrower is really needing to get something done and they only care that they're saving $100 a month and you were having them save 150, you can edit that rate watch then and there too, based off of that conversation. So I personally feel like I don't show them anything within Arrive, but it's a conversation starter and it's something that we tell all of our clients that we have. And maybe it would be a good idea that in your funding milestone, just put something in there. Reminder, we have this free rate watch program that we have now input you in. So that would be a cool thing to put on there. Or even trigger a video to go and say, we just want to let you know we've signed you up for our free rate watch program and we're going to stay on top of this for you. But if you ever have any questions or need anything, we're always here and here's our contact.
Yeah, that's kind of what I needed to hear right there. That I didn't think about the milestones. That would work in milestones a lot better than. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
We have about 5 minutes left. Any other questions for Lisa? You talked a lot about customizations and what
Yes.
are some other customizations that you have made. The earnest money was a great example, saying people don't know what this means. We're not talking their lingo. We're not talking their language. What are some other things that you've changed the verbiage on to just make it more customer centric and where they're understanding? And I think there's a lot of trust in that
Yeah.
when they're dealing with somebody who's speaking their language, whether instead of, I don't understand what she's saying, this is hard, right? So what are some other things you've changed?
So I think one of the things that we've done too is when you're sending out that email to request documents, right? Are you customizing that? Is it the beginning of the loan? Are you asking for beginning documents? Or are you asking for now your loan is underwriting documents? There's just a basic line there that says, here's things that we need. I don't even know what it says, but we've changed that. I think that is so important too when talking to your client and knowing also, another thing that we run across is, let's say the borrower didn't upload the condition to the system. They emailed it to your processor. We always try to encourage our clients to upload it to the system, right? So everything's in your ARIVE file for future audits, and stuff like that. So if they email it to us, we have a process that we then upload it to that condition that we've asked for and accept it. Because the last thing you need is for those alerts to go out to your client, hey, we still need this, but they already sent it to you. So telling your processing team, hopefully if you're using a third party processor, they're utilizing that too, because the last thing you want is clients calling in pissed off because they're getting all these emails for something that they've already turned in. So it's really easy when you go into your needs list page to just drag it and place it within that condition, not just upload it to documents. We place it in that and hit accept. So it doesn't keep asking them for that documentation, because it will auto generate, hey, we still need this from you. And clients don't like that when they know that they sent it into you, or they get frustrated because they're like, maybe it went somewhere else. In this day and age with fraud and everything up, did they get it? Did they not get it? Is it secure? Is it not secure? Even though ARIVE is a secure portal, that's why we encourage to upload it through there. But some clients just don't know how to utilize technology that way yet. So
It sounds like you and your team have really put yourself in the borrower's shoes to say, like you said, that would frustrate me. If how many times am I have to send this? Why am I keep getting these alerts? And just finding processes within that work for ARIVE for efficiencies that make everything crystal clear that you have received it. Well, I think this will probably be our last question, but how are you using ARIVE on the go? Because I know you're a busy mom, you're
yeah.
a business owner, you're a wife, you are out and about all the time. So how do you utilize ARIVE on the go?
So I love that it's web-based. Being in the mortgage industry as long as we are, I know we were talking about this earlier, with trans boxes and everything, and an old Calyx Point user, it was not web-based, right? So you had to have a seat on every single laptop or thing that you needed. And with ARIVE being web-based, it is so simple, whether it's my laptop or my cell phone. My husband and I just recently bought a place in Mexico. And so it's great for even when you're going out of the country. Um, make sure that when you get there, that it's all set up. Again, use help if not, to make sure that you can log in and everything is correct on there. But I mean, my husband's in Mexico today at our place. So I'm here working like always, and he has the day off. No, he had to go down there to do something with our condo, but he has his laptop and he's working out of ARIVE. So it is a great tool. I am a dance mom, so I'm constantly either at dance competitions or with my kids, and my clients would never know the difference. So whether I want to carry my laptop with me or utilize it on my phone, it's very simple.
Awesome. We love to hear that. And we love that you're out and about all the time. So just it's life. It's real life
Yeah.
now. And you have to be on the go, but your business doesn't stop, which we know. So
And it's great because everything too is, you can go through and see who did what in the file. So I love it if Matt is in Mexico and I'm here in the office and I go into a file and the client's calling, maybe something changed, I can go in and look at the history and see, okay, did he change the loan amount and forget to put a note in there? Now, I'm very strict in my office about everyone putting notes, But what I love about ARIVE too is that someone can be on vacation and a client call them, they can log into the system, and if you're utilizing it correctly, you can see what was done on it last. And I encourage my processors, anyone that goes into a file, put a note in there. Again, even with the rate watch, we're snipping it and putting it in there so we know what we did. But you can literally talk to that client and you don't have to be in the office and they don't know the difference as long as you're utilizing the notes. And you can drop down, you can see the history, you can see the email history, who sent out the last email, was it done, was it not? And I love that tool also.
Amazing. Well, thank you for being with us today. I think everyone on the call could probably listen to you talk for a few more hours and get all of these like mic drop moments and really great tips and tricks to create efficiencies and make money too. I mean, that was a big focus of today, is some little tools with some thought and planning and a tiny bit of time that bring a power punch, big bang to your business. So.
And I promise you, use that rate watch. And when we have those dips in the market, you are going to be so happy you took the time to do that. And I would love to hear any success stories from it.
Yes, so would we. So report back, everyone. Thank you for being here. Please join us. And people are putting in the comments, thank you to Lisa and great stuff. Thank you. So make sure to fill us in on your success stories. Join us for the next Broker Connect in 2 weeks. There's always so much value and great conversations here. So thank you all for being here. And we love this community. And Lisa, thank you for pouring into it. As usual, we're so grateful for you and appreciate you so much.
And I'll type up that and send it to you guys, the step-by-step, if that helps also. So you can send it out.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
And people are asking where the recording will be. This will be posted on our YouTube channel, the ARIVE YouTube channel next week. So yeah, and we'll put out an alert on the Facebook group when it's posted. So if you're not in the ARIVE Facebook group, please join it. We would love to have you there. And thank you again for everyone for being here.
Thank you.
Thank
Happy
you.
Friday.
Bye, everyone.